Drum roll, please. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Raising the Rogers Homestead. Today, we're going to be making some DIY bunk feeders. Let's get into it. Alright, so I'm wanting to make some bunk feeders that are a little bit lower to the ground. So normally you can pick up a bunk feeder for like, I don't know, 120, 130 bucks, something like that. Just the ones with the plastic liner. So I'm wanting to make some that are lower to the ground because as we start to get into sheep a little bit more, I want something that's a little bit lower to the ground so that the babies aren't hopping up in the bunk feeder and, making a mess and everything else. So that's the idea today. So I've got these 3 drums. One of them is busted pretty bad on the bottom, so I'm only going to be able to use half of it. So the goal is to make 5 bunk feeders out of these. Now I don't know if I'm going to have them in line or put them together. I haven't fully decided yet, but I just want to build one and see what it looks like and kind of bring you guys along with me. So it's been raining on and off today, a little bit of thunder and whatnot. So I thought this would be a good project, be under roof for. So the first thing I got to do is get these things split in half. All right, got them cut in half. This one is actually busted real bad on the end, so I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to set it over here to the side. So that leaves us with 5 halves, and these things actually took a little bit longer to cut than I thought. That plastic is actually a lot thicker than I thought it would be. But we got 5 halves. Need to clean up the edges a little bit and then start building a frame around it. See how that goes. All right, I need to do a little bit of measuring. The blue ones are a little bit shorter and not as wide as the white ones. So I'm gonna start with the blue ones, start building somewhat of a frame, and then we'll go from there. Alright, got the frame on the outside of it. Now I just got to figure out how high I want it off the ground. I want it as close to the ground as I can get it. And then once I figure out what that height is, then the rest of it should go pretty quick. I can always, the next one on the other side will just continue off of this. So I can screw that side that's on the ground to this board and then just continue this. But in hindsight, I would have ran a longer board and then just put some braces in the middle. But you know, you live, you learn. It's first time doing this, so I'm learning as I go. All right, so let's figure out the height, and then that way we'll know what to do for the next one. It looks like 12 inches is going to be our measurement, so I'm going to try that real quick, and then if that's not right, then I've got plenty of spare wood. All right, got our legs put on. Let's set this on the ground and see exactly how it looks. If it's too low or too high, I don't think it's going to be too high. If anything, it's going to be too low. It's going to be sitting on the bottom, but let's see what it looks like. Boom. I think that's going to be perfect. It is really low to the ground, but it's not quite touching it. But I'm going to end up putting this thing on skids anyway. So putting it on some skids is going to be, it's going to raise it up another, I don't know, 3-4 inches, something like that. But this dude right here, we'll build another frame for it. And put it right next to it. So, I don't know, guys. I mean, you know, like I said, you can buy a 10-foot trough for, you know, 120 bucks or whatever. I got these barrels for next to nothing. I think I paid like $5 a piece for them. And then I just used scrap wood. But I mean, even if you were buying wood, it'd be minimal. It'd be, you know, 10, 15 bucks, something like that, for a couple of 2x4s. I'm using some old deck boards that I got that were just laying around. So I don't know. I mean, for, I don't know, say 15, 20 bucks or so, you could basically have an 8-foot trough. I've still got those other ones over there, but I mean, this was just a little quick evening project. It didn't take me no time. It took longer to cut them than it did to build the frame and put everything together. So it didn't really take that long. I think this is something that'll be worth it. So I think I'm going to keep trucking on it, but I'm not going to bore you guys with that. I think this is worth it. I really do. I think this is worth it. So let's just go on the high end and say 20 bucks. 20 bucks per, you know, 8-foot trough. It's low to the ground, and that's kind of what I was after, but simply for the lambs, because they always end up jumping up in the trough and, you know, just making a mess and, you know, making everybody else mad, and they end up pooping in there and everything else. So I think this will be good, especially for some market lambs. Put them on a little bit of feed before they go. I think this is going to work, guys. Real small. It's light. You can move it around. I mean, heck, you could use it for anything. You could feed sheep out of it, which is what we plan on doing. You could feed cows out of it. You could really, I mean, I guess you could technically feed pigs out of it, but pigs are destructive. They'll tear anything up. But there you go, guys. Simple, quick little project. Didn't take me maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I spent more time cutting the drum and just kind of thinking about what I wanted to do next. But I think this is something that's going to work. Well, that's going to do it for today, guys. I appreciate you stopping by Raising the Rogers Homestead. If you could, like this video, subscribe to our channel if you haven't, and until next time, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks.